Assalamu alaikum. Well, again, you have tuned in to the Conscious Life, the Goddess Movement Series, where we will be rediscovering the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to the black woman in America. Surely that may seem strange to you. However, we are on a revival, or we're beginning to embark upon a revival. And you know, I was fortunate to listen to Louis Farrakhan on one of the cable access shows that some of his members broadcast around the nation. And in the area in which I am, it came on Sunday. It was very, very amazing to see that he was back into teaching about Master Muhammad in a way of bearing witness that he is our God and the God, the Almighty God of the universe. It was surprising because I recall on too many occasions when he made it clear that Master Muhammad was only born in 1877 and no man can really represent the true and living omnipotent God, which that was around 2000, the last time I had ever been involved in any teachings of Louis Farrakhan. However, getting back up to today, what astonished me was that we are in a time, all of us who have embraced, or came into whichever of those verbs that you want to use, which spells out your experience in the so-called Nation of Islam today. Whichever one of those verbs signifies your experience, that's good, that's fine. However, the point is that if you understood anything at all, you would know what time it is and what must be done. And so, it is truly the time for revival. Revival, why? Because, number one, we have failed. And what made it even more clear to me, not that I was foggy at all in my thinking, but it was clear to me that this is truly the time, is when you see your opponents, the opposition, saying the same thing as what you're saying. However, you understand that it's the motive behind that which he says that should be examined, and not just what he said. So, I'm saying it to say, to get to this point. Farrakhan on that tape, on that videotape, which he was in Atlanta speaking, and I think it was titled something about finding out what your mission is in your life. And he made statements relative to revival. He even made statements about how him and his followers in their Nation of Islam, in their version of the Nation of Islam, had fallen short in as much as they had put the horse before the carriage. In other words, instead of them seeking ye first the kingdom of heaven and then all that is within and then all that is without, they sought first that which was out and then the kingdom. These were his own words. So it really, it was astonished. It was astonishing, and it was really surprising to hear him say that. However, it made me more aware of this time and what must be done. So, as I said before, I'm not a scholar, I'm not a theologian, and I'm not trying to be anyone's leader or definitely not a sister minister, because anyone that was in the Nation of Islam under the messenger's teachings, when the messenger was here, and even after he left, that had any inkling of what the truth was, knows that there is no such thing as a sister minister in the NOI. In the wilderness of North America. Let me be clear. The Lost Found Nation in the wilderness of North America, there has never been heard of a sister minister. And I know, and I doubt clearly, I doubt it seriously, that if it ever would have been one known, even if the messenger was here. But that's me saying it. However, I know no one on the scene today, and that includes Farrakhan, has no right to change the methods, the blueprint, or the protocol of the Nation of Islam. So, even if he claims to be the so-called reminding you of what you already knew, not bringing in, taking out, and doing with what you want. However, getting back to my point, as sisters, as black women in America, I realize more than ever that the call needs to be sound for our revival, our repentance, and our reform. And so, sisters, I dare say to you, come out of her. Come out of her. You know, this is not hair wig, sister. This is not hair wig. I have never worn hair wig. Well, no. Let me take it back. I put some of that fake hair in my hair. However, after I got it done, you know, even the African girls that did it told me I didn't need it, because really it was still all my hair. So I've never done it again, because, you know, when I first saw it being done, even in Farrakhan's camp, I thought to myself, what is going on when we have started wearing weave in the NOI that is supposed to be the house of this man whose picture is behind me? So I say, come out of her. Surely there's nothing wrong with being beautiful, being well groomed, because we, as the most beautiful woman on this planet, that is what we're supposed to personify in our everyday appearance, is beauty. But it should come from the inside out, and that's why we were taught how to eat to live, because we realized that the right food for our body, for our mind, and for our spirit would personify the beauty without. And as your brother Farrakhan said, we have put the horse before the carriage. Well, I say we too, because I used to be in that camp. But all praise is due to Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Muhammad. I was always able to see that there was something very wrong going on in that camp, and that it shouldn't have been that much fighting going on if people really believed in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when I began to see that the theology was wrong, and that was what I was fighting against, principles and powers that was at that time, and it was not Master Muhammad's powers, or it was not the principles of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then that was when I saw fit that it was time for me to go. All praise is due to Allah. So, you know, I'm not sharing with anyone to come out. You stay over there, because truly this is the time. According to Quran, this is the time of the separation of the groups. So we must, you know, truly get in where we fit in. All praise is due to Allah. For me, I fit with Master Muhammad and Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And it's notwithstanding that I have not tried to deal with most of the so-called groups that are out here. And that is why I can bear witness that only once you have revisited the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad will you find your way back on the straight and narrow path. So, again, for any sisters that would like to join up with their own and become part of the national GCC class, which that is our our job to do is to be general civilizers. Uh, Hit us up at goddessonthemove@cox.com or sister.r.muhammad@yahoo.com, and we will surely share with you the materials that you would need in order to get back in the ranks of the true MGT and GCC class. So thank you again for allowing me to come before you. I pray to Allah that He bless you with the light of understanding. And again, I say, Assalamu alaikum.